The Bunker Project, podcast episode number 19. And welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project, where we talk about social media, podcasting, new media, and technology over a black beer. Welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. We're here on Robson Street in Vancouver, British Columbia. And I'm here with Bob, the...
Cracked him up. I just cracked up the whole our vast audience tonight with some outrageous coughing.
Yeah.
It's my warm-up cough.
Yeah, but before they were real coughs and these ones were fake.
Try this one. Is that, 5'9" for artistic style.
Yeah.
It's the Olympic cough.
So we're here in the Bunker Bar, and we've got a number of things to talk about today. There's some interesting things going down in the social media world.
We have gleaned it off the internet. Isn't that a fantastic word? Gleaned.
Yeah.
Gleaned.
So,
Hi, what's your name? Glean. I don't know.
And we got a couple of guests here in the studio audience, as usual. We got Satomi and James.
All right. So we're covered.
So we got our game coverage, and we got our new podcaster...
podcast queen.
Questions.
The queen of podcasts. Our Asian connection. It's a... What? Hang on. In the war, who was that lady? Tokyo Rose. We have our own Tokyo Rose. Tokyo Sonomi. I don't know. Satomi. Sorry.
Tsunami.
Tsunami. Verbal... They call me Verbal Tsunami.
So last week, Bob took some awesome show notes and counted all the tangents that we went on. Actually, the last two episodes, he's been calculating the tangents. So he's got his paper ready. He's got his pen. He's been doing
tangents. Okay.
He's been doing his finger exercises because his finger was really, really sore from last week with all the tangents.
Well, the whole thing is I type. I don't write, and I'm sure that's the truth of everybody right now. When I was, because I'm old, when I was a kid, you had to study like writing and stuff like that, and I had these huge writing muscles on my fingers, massive Arnold Schwarzenegger fingers, and I could write for like days. And now, forget it, like 10 minutes of signing papers or stuff, I get cramps. I've got to have like a muscle relaxant to be able to sign lots and lots of papers. Plus the effects of the muscle relaxants, of course, but... that would be telling.
That'd be very telling. So did I tell you that I got a smoking deal on the weekend?
Yeah, like how many pounds? The ounces, probably. You could afford ounces.
Not that kind of deal.
Oh, okay. Well, we are in the Amsterdam of Canada, so when you do for a smoking deal, that's what people say.
What I bought. This has nothing to do with podcast equipment or anything like that.
It's a phone, isn't it?
No, I got an awesome phone.
It's a piece of pornographic equipment?
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
But I got... a package for $79.99.
Oh, is that the thing we were just talking about?
Which thing was that?
The headphones and stuff?
No. I said it's got nothing to do with podcasting.
Oh, okay. $79.99. Your new apartment?
One of them is a bag to hold them in.
Well, new apartment.
And the bag that they were selling in this store for this particular. Package.
You've lost me
on
man.
Its own. The bag was $34.99.
Hang on, now, ladies and gentlemen,
and I got
listening to this audience. This is not a scripted show. Now we're not faking this. I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
And then the other thing that was in the bag that came in the package was a set of poles.
You bought a stripper pole?
Poles, 2 poles.
I think we should let's bring everybody's mics. And then they can make
everybody's live
rude
now.
And obscure comments.
Rude and obscure comments, I'm definitely down for.
Right.
So you bought a stripper pole for your house?
No. I got a
But now that you mention it,
I got a bag that I can throw over my shoulder, and there's 2 poles that are extendable, and
a tent. I mean, you're cracking up the gamer, man. You're using code in gamer for some pornographic stuff, man.
And the other thing that was in there is
the shopping channel.
2 snowshoes.
No way! You got
$79.99.
You got snowshoes?
$80 for a pair of snowshoes, 2 poles, and a carrying.
Now,
bag.
what the hell does that have to do with social media? Who cares?
Well,
so
because
I'm going to give that a tangent number 1.
I'm going to Twitter that out. Go to Atmosphere on.
Oh, Atmosphere. Now, They are new. Sorry to jump all over you, but yeah,
Well, they're not new.
Atmospheres.
They just changed their name.
They're basically they're an Eastern company, and they've come here. I think they're based in Quebec, but anyways, they're a supplies for outdoor activities like
isn't it
hiking
just,
boots and stuff like that. But they came in big time with a big budget, and MEC, which is basically the Vancouver's Mountain Equipment Co-op, they're kind of like the mainstay here.
But isn't it just Coast Mountain Sports and changed their name to?
No, Coast
Atmosphere?
Mountain Sports got bought, consumed, devoured,
They
and
got absorbed.
yeah, and now they've been
Absorbed.
excreted as this new brand, which
Cool.
kind of sounds gross, but that's the way it is.
Anyways, even the guy there, he was
But
trying
some
to
killer
sell me
deals.
stuff, and I saw this one. I'm like, well, why would I buy the other one on the shelf? And they had the exact same snowshoes for $119 on the hanging on the shelf there by themselves, and then the bag was $34.99, and then poles were another $34.99. So $79.99. Now I've got the whole package.
If we had a live audience,
So I'm gonna go
on the internet,
snowshoeing.
we would be get that guy off the mic. Get
Now
that
I'm just
guy
gonna
off the
get
mic.
now I just have to get a $99 season's pass for the Grouse
This is not
for Grouse
condoned
Mountain.
by the Bunker Brewery.
And then there we go. I'm going to be up there.
No. Tell you,
Okay.
that is a way. Don't do that. No, bad move. Now, for all you snowshoers here in the Vancouver area, do not do that. The way to snowshoe, if you go snowshoeing at like Seymour or Grouse Mountain, just wear your hiking boots, because 5,000 people have snowshoed before you. It's so hard packed, you can do it with regular hiking boots. What you want to do is get yourself a GPS and then go and do these amazing regular trails way up the mountain, like Brothers Creek. You go up there, you hike, carrying your snowshoes, and you run into some major snow. You put on your snowshoes, you hike up to maybe like Lost Lake, then you whip out the old GPS, and you traverse over to the next trail, which is, I think, the Baden-Powell Trail, which is about 1.5 kilometers to the left,
Yeah.
which would be west of where you would be standing, and you're literally 3 meters in the air. Nobody has snowshoed there before. Virgin snow. It's awesome. And you're going along, and all you're getting is these huge trees thrusting through the virgin snow.
Okay.
Right, no, it's pretty awesome.
But I gotta ask
so
you this,
I just had to put that in there. But really,
but the Grouse
that
Mountain
is what
thing,
it's all about.
There's black beer
Everything
at the
else
top of
sucks.
Grouse Mountain.
Do they have black beer up there?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I believe they do. They have
Okay.
got a very dark beer, anyways.
If-
And so you go up there, you do your snowshoeing, and they've got a chalet there. You just sit down, relax in the bar, and
Hey.
have a beer. You can't do that if you're out in the wilderness.
You can if you carry it. And tell you what, the backpacks that when I go hiking with
but
my
there's
buddy,
no fireplace.
hey, look, when I go hiking with my buddy, we're like full gear, and people's like, how many days have you been out there? I said, what? This is a day trip. We like so much gear. We stop. We
Actually-
got snow shovels. We got this. We bring out the champagne glasses. I mean, it's a classy hike.
He's got at speedhikers.com. Is that right? Speedhikers.com?
Yeah, speedhikers.com.
He's got
An
the
awesome
list
resource.
of everything you need to bring on a hike.
Yeah, 4 Sherpers it takes
He
to
didn't
carry
put a
that
spot
stuff.
on there, though. He didn't
what?
put a spot.
A spot?
Spot unit. GPS spot. Global Star unit.
Yeah. That satellite uplink device.
Yeah, so you can just hit the help
So you could do a
button or-
podcast. And here
check
we
in.
are, up in the mountains, lost. But we're going to do a podcast just before we freeze to death.
Yeah.
Anyways,
back
I
to
would that.
the show.
I'm going to make that a double digress, because man, oh man, snowshoes, hiking, GPS. What the heck does that have to do with social media? And I tell you,
It does have a few things.
well, we're in Vancouver, and it's kind of like an activity type place. Blah blah blah.
Because you
And
can
a
be
lot of
up on the
people-
mountain with your phone, and you can be checking your Facebook page, and you can be tweeting.
Well, that's a good thing to do when you're on grouse and you're on the chairlift and you have nothing to do for 5 minutes, and it's like, oh, I'm about to do the double back diamond, so if I don't make it back here, send out the rescue patrol.
You could do some geocaching.
Yeah, big
and this
time.
is the geocaching king here, right here.
Well,
Mr.
Kilrag.
Kilrag.
That's my name backwards.
He's got he owns all the mountains up there.
114 caches in the mountains.
So
Some of them are 7 hours away.
That's probably a good reason to go snowshoeing up there then.
Well, no, if 90%.
You can't find the caches in the snow.
They're underneath the snow. But this year, I'm going to do some I'm going to actually do some winter caches where in the summer when you go back, the cache is
high.
3-4 meters up in a tree. And I say, no, only accessible during the winter. Or if you bring ropes, you can get it in the summer. Okay, I'm not even going to count that a digress because this is going to be a major digress.
That
because
was,
we haven't even got to what we're going to talk
that was
about.
a definite digression, and this time it was my fault.
Okay, social media marketing. Oh, all I have to say is black beer. Because I wanted to get that one in before anybody else. Oh, hey, and I'm really excited because this Friday...
Oh, yeah, this Friday we're going for beers with...
come on, it's I said
okay,
it first.
go ahead, You go ahead.
I tell you, it's like having a big brother. Got a call from the Meister, the guy that actually creates the black beer. He's going to come party with us this Friday in the bunker. 6 p.m.
The brewmaster
right
from
here, the
Okanagan
brewmaster.
Springs.
Yeah, and he has a European accent.
Is he buying us black beer?
Well, I don't know about that, but it's he's coming in from Vernon. So this is the big Vernon. Is that how you pronounce that city?
Vernon. Yeah.
Is that where black beer is from?
Yeah.
Okanagan Springs.
Okanagan Springs. They hang out there. So he's got 3 days
It's
off.
not
He's
just a
coming here to
name;
party.
they're actually from the Okanagan.
This Friday he's coming, and we're gonna party down.
So if you're listening to this,
and you're not
this
invited,
Friday was actually probably a couple of Fridays ago.
Yeah, this is like January 14th. But hey, okay, hang on. What show is this? This is show 20?
19.
19? Show 19. And how many we got on the podcast?
13.
So we're a little behind.
Andrew,
there's a couple coming up.
Get it together, man. Get it together,
Well,
man.
we're taking a break at Christmas time, in the Christmas break, right?
Yeah, but we're going to make a special.
So
special reports.
Oh, yeah, and it'll be in Studio 604.
Tell you what, this Friday, what I'll do is I'll make it a special report, and we'll have it up before Christmas.
Live from Studio 604. So,
before Christmas.
How come our levels are so low? And we're gonna boost your levels there. Is it technical stuff?
Okay, try it again. Say something.
No, I'm just saying we're having one.
Oh, your mic is turned off. You have to,
okay.
if you flip the switch
We're
there.
gonna get a technical specialist in there to flip that switch. All right, try that.
Yeah. Oh, we have one more podcast before Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
That's on the 15th. And on the 29th, I axed it today. I don't know if you got the message from me, but it said basically 29th, forget it. Who is going to come to the podcast event here at the Bunker Bar on the 20th? Because I'll be on the island.
Just me.
Oh, no, I just ruined somebody's New Year surprise. You just go hang out at Andrew's place.
Oh, yeah, we won't be neighbors anymore.
He moved.
No.
I'm moving. Tommy lives right across the street from me, and I'm moving closer to Yaletown now.
Yeah. So that's digression number 3, by the way.
Still downtown Vancouver, but,
Jeez.
that's it,
So what have we talked about? Is social media market we talked about? Hiking, snowshoeing, moving apartments.
Geocaching.
All right. Geocaching is probably the closest it's got to social marketing and media. That's all I got to say. So,
well, you've got a pretty interesting...
I've got a massive amount of stuff we got to cover in this show. Wow. So it's like a 4-hour show we're talking about. So, I'm just going to throw this out. Has anybody heard about the Adobe tablet?
No.
Like a lot of negative. Okay, so
well, I think I've heard of it, but I don't know if you have more information. Yeah.
Well, it's just rumored. It's just rumored, and I was hoping somebody else would have something because I cannot remember what they were talking about and what I read about 3 weeks ago when I heard about this. So by the time we hear this, there's either going to be an Adobe tablet announced, or it'll die a merciless death.
I think I did actually hear about the Adobe tablet. Yeah.
Well, I think the whole thing is it's with tablets. There are so many tablets out there right now. You've got basically the iPad, which started it all, and now everybody's jumped on the bandwagon. They're the
Galaxy
Samsung,
tab.
the Galaxy. Is it Samsung? What's Samsung?
The Samsung Galaxy tab.
Yeah, and that will be a kick arse tablet because Samsung makes awesome products.
They've definitely cut back on their production or their orders because they didn't get the demand that they thought they would.
Well, you know what? Everybody's waiting for the iPad too.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also the BlackBerry Playbook coming out, which is it's called the BlackBerry Playbook. It came.
What a sucky name! I mean, if you were like,
well,
please.
Bob's just pissed off because they changed the name. The tentative name was the BlackPad.
I know. I mean, come on. We're going to race
and
it.
he's like, it's
racial, man. It's racial.
Sounds like black beer.
I know. It's got to be cool.
So
maybe somebody come out with the beer pad, the black beer pad. I'd buy that.
So it's kind of interesting because the whole Apple thing with anti-flash and now Adobe, if they are coming out with the tablet, it's kind of
The Galaxy actually supports Flash.
It does for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
everybody
Yeah.
except Apple will support
And so
Flash.
does the playbook. The playbook definitely supports Flash.
Yeah.
You can play all the good Flash games with just the touch of your finger.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just have one word to say about games, and that's Angry Birds. Have you played Angry Birds?
I finished it.
Now is that Flash based?
No, that one was written for iOS.
So it plays on the iPad.
But
It's the biggest game that's happening right now. As
it is.
Come on.
Scrabble for the iPad's kind of making a run for it though.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Well, all the podcasts I'm listening to, the technology podcasts I'm listening to, all they're talking about is Angry Birds. That like the Christmas version. There was a Halloween version.
Angry Birds 2 is going to be coming out soon.
which was the pigs get their revenge.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm hoping they make one for Windows Phone 7.
They said it's
Yeah.
actually coming to Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you
Right
get your
around the
wish.
corner.
and then maybe in a couple of years, Windows
Well,
7.
they somebody put Angry Birds on a Windows Phone 7 ad, like on the screen of a Windows phone, and
Oops.
they got a little ticked and said, "Hey, that's our intellectual property. We haven't committed to doing that yet. We probably will, but
And it depends how many phones they sell. I mean, really, look, it's kind of flipped on its head. Back in the day when Microsoft was the system of the systems, when nobody had phones, like basically a computer that was more powerful than what we used back in the day, everybody built system programs for the PC. And Mac was like, maybe we'll make a game for that, or maybe we'll make a program for that. Now it's like a lot of people have the iPhone. A large percentage of the market have the iPhone. So developers are making products for that. And Windows 7 is kind of in the same position that Apple was in. Oh, by the way, we have a product that works. And everyone's saying, like, what?
Windows
Who
Phone
cares? Like,
Windows
we got all
Phone
these-
7, yeah. It's interesting because
Give it 5 years.
Windows Phone
I
7,
say a year
yeah.
for games, or less than your.
Well, there's already a ton of apps on the Windows. There's relatively few compared to the iPhone or the Android.
Yeah, but how many apps
but
can
they
you
just
use?
launched. They just launched.
Okay, how many people have a phone that uses apps? 2 people, right?
One, yeah.
All right, how many apps do you use on your phone?
Everybody in this room.
How many apps you got on your phone?
How many apps do I have?
Like 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000?
I got 5 pages at 16 apps, so 5 times.
Couple
16.
hundred?
Yeah, a couple hundred.
Couple hundred. How many apps are available?
Yeah, just over 200,000.
But who cares? I mean, look, come on, guys. I've got like 300 apps,
But then there's the jailbroken
400
apps
apps. Yeah, 500 apps, 200,000 apps.
200,000 apps.
Now, nobody knows how much it is. I just bought
Yeah, but
a
you know,
database
the
of
whole
names.
point.
Not-
The whole point is that with the iPhone, when somebody says, "Oh, can I do this?" the sales rep, and I'm one of them, will just say, "There's an app for that." And we can say that with confidence because if you can imagine it, someone's made an app for it.
Exactly.
And
I'm having trouble
know,
tying my shoes.
there's
Oh,
probably
there's an
an
app for
app.
that.
I don't actually think there's an app
Standard
for
answer.
that.
What, tying your shoe? How to tie your shoes?
I think that would be actually a really good
There's
app.
12 ways to tie your shoes. That's all. Yeah, really. And the Japanese way is the most efficient.
We should make that app.
That would be a killer app.
Yeah.
I know. Now, my question is, how much did it cost?
Whoa.
We've been plunged into the darkness by people that
she
don't know
just
we
ran
have a
around the corner
podcast
laughing.
show.
They're laughing. They're looking at us and they're laughing.
Thank you. All right, thank you. That's all right. Oh, but hey, can I get a? Oh,
Oh,
damn.
that's not. She's our waitress She's our waitress
She's
sometimes, but she's not
fired.
working right now.
No, we're gonna send somebody from our audience there to order me a black beer. Can
Yeah.
somebody go score me a beer?
And me too,
Thank
please.
you. Oh, okay, 2 beers.
2 beers. 2 of in the big glasses. The big.
Well, they know.
Where's
2
the,
black beers.
Where's the other waitress, though?
You didn't
Oh,
have
the
big
one you
glasses
like.
time.
No, not the one I like.
Oh,
just the one
man,
that
that's
seems
why
to
it's-
pay a lot of attention.
No, she's here, but she's got a big crowd because she's got a lot of
No, she's not here.
It's hockey night.
Christina's
it's hockey
not
night
here.
in Canada.
Christina's not here right now. It's Ashley.
Oh, Ashley, yeah, but Ashley she was the original perfect girl.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's very.
Ashley, she's
usually
just-
very attentive. She just has this magical way of knowing when you need another beer,
And that's 4 digressions.
and that's great.
All right, so Angry Birds, and that kind of is a nice segue in why social media games are not just a fad. They are frigging, which is a technical word in the gaming industry, huge. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of eyeballs that are being exposed to
Social gaming is
social gaming.
is definitely not a fad.
Big
Hey,
revenue
remember that?
development.
Remember that social media map that we had. We had two versions, one from several years ago and one from this year.
Yeah.
And we had it there.
Oh, it looks like we got some
But,
guests. Come on in. We have a young guest. Hello. Yeah, come on in. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So I guess cookies didn't work.
Cookies?
Well, somebody was coming in saying, I don't think I can come in because of my kids. And I sent an email back saying, use cookies.
Oh,
That
that's
usually-
probably me.
Yeah.
All I said is I needed her agreement.
And what's your name?
My name. What's your name?
Nina.
It's Nina, and I'm Megan.
Hi.
We've
And Nina,
got
how old are you?
Nina and Megan.
Nina or Mina? M or N?
Anne.
N, because my daughter's called Mina.
Really?
And Maya. Yeah, so Mina, she's 10. How old are you, Nina? 9. Well, cool. So my question is,
Maya, eh?
yeah, Mina, Maya. So Nina, I have a question for Nina. Nina, do you like YouTube? Yeah. So what do you watch on YouTube? About music videos and, huh? Fred. Who's Fred?
Just annoying person.
No, what? Not so you lost me there because it's like, I'm.
Fred's an annoying character that's made many videos gone a bit viral.
Oh, it's kind of like the TV guy, the annoying TV guy. Was that the purple dinosaur?
We should let her
Barney.
come here
Barney,
and sit
yeah.
and speak.
Yeah, Barney.
I
Yeah.
bet she'll be.
Barney. Hey, do you want? Let's give her a mic.
Yeah. Why don't
We'll
you
do a
come
quick
here?
interview.
Do you want to come here?
Do you want
and
to talk
have
on the
an
mic,
interview?
just like the real characters do? All right. So Sonomi's gonna,
And I'm gonna move down. I'll get moved.
and I think we now. Do you want something from the bar? Maybe a shot of tequila to get you loosened up.
I'll sit here.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh. Yeah, I guess so. Deepest, darkest bunker. Can you bring that down for me?
This is a licensed area, yeah.
So I will call that digression number 5, but a cute digression, which is really cool. So we have. Anyways, so Nina, we're gonna bring a mic down to her. You're gonna have to sit up there to be able to speak into the mic, because when you talk into the mic, you come in really close, about an inch and a half away. Nice technique. So Nina, so let's hear your name again, Nina.
Nina.
How do you spell that?
Nina.
Really? You sure?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You got to figure it out. And Nina, you like social media and marketing?
What's that?
That a girl. That's what I like to hear. So YouTube. You saying you played with YouTube? What do you like watching on YouTube?
Fred.
Now, do you go on and log it in yourself? Do you know how to log into YouTube? How do you get to YouTube? Does Mom do that for you?
I just go onto the internet and type YouTube.
Yeah. What type of computer do you have?
Apple.
Ah,
You have a
nice.
Mac. Okay. And now, what do you think of the what do you use to get on the internet? You use what's the Apple program?
Safari.
Safari. Do you use Safari or do you use Firefox?
You got it right.
Firefox.
Firefox. Atta girl. Excellent. And much better. And do you know what tabs are? This is just a quiz. You don't get no atta girl. That's fine. So you know how to type
Oh. Yeah.
those things you click on, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Making new windows.
Yeah.
She's heard them called tabs, but she's used those.
Oh, okay. Those things you click on and cool things pop up. So what's your favorite thing on YouTube?
Fred.
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 Who's Fred?
He's
Describe
this
me
annoying,
Fred.
Guy who has this weird voice, and is always doing different things.
Like what? Like Pee Wee
In
Herman. You know,
one-
Pee Wee Herman had a really annoying voice. Is it
Like
like
in one who stays in a
Who,
fancy
Herman?
hotel room.
a fancy hotel room?
Yeah, and he
We got Pee Wee.
Sounds like Hannah Montana. No.
and
Okay.
he finds this thing.
What thing?
He finds this refrigerator.
Hang on. What color is the fridge? It's like a white
I
fridge?
didn't see it in the video,
Oh, okay.
but he finds this fridge,
Yeah. What's in the fridge?
and inside the fridge there's like all this stuff like frozen pizza, and he tries to eat the frozen pizza, and he doesn't like it.
He doesn't like because it's frozen.
Yeah, and
He
then
doesn't know how to cook it.
And then he goes down and orders a sundae, an ice cream sundae, and when he gets it, he pours like gross stuff. He
Oh,
pours,
like
ketchup
worms and ketchup. Oh, ketchup.
He pours ketchup on it and mustard and stuff like that.
So being a kid, gross things are important, aren't they? Now, do you eat anything that's like really weird that grosses out your friends? Like my daughter really, really loves celery and peanut butter. Have you ever tried that?
Ooh, ants on a log. I love that.
No.
It's called ants on a log.
Well, you take celery, peanut butter, and some raisins, and it's ants on a log. That's what,
Wow.
but
Hey, I'm
I always
gonna try
always called
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There
See?
you go. Ants on a log. I
Yeah,
like
See?
that.
Yeah, preschool. That's what we used to rock
These-
in preschool all the time.
Now,
I
does
learned
that?
something at the bunker. Ants on a log.
Yeah. Now, does that freak you out that like old people know about weird stuff like ants on a log? You've never heard of that one. Now, my question is,
Hey, what about banana and peanut butter? That was always good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like banana and peanut butter?
I've never tried it.
Never. So, what's the weirdest thing you eat? I want to know. What's the weirdest thing?
Banana sandwich. That's a banana and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and add banana.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Care Bear sandwich.
Okay,
What's that?
a Care Bear sandwich.
Wow.
So my
I
question.
have no idea what that is.
Oh, atta girl. Just. So my question is, you know this character you watch on YouTube. Do you talk about that guy in school?
I'm not sure. My friend showed me him when I went to her house, and we watched it together, and we played Wii, and we watched like the first one we watched was Fred Goes Swimming.
And you did it crack you up? Do you giggle a lot? It must have been pretty crazy, eh?
Yeah, and she showed me Fred gets a haircut.
So
So
do
he
you
went
talk about this
swimming?
stuff in? Do you talk about this stuff in school? Because sometimes, like, do you talk about weird things you see on YouTube or things you like Wii and the weird things you do with Wii and oh, we had this Wii game and then we fell over and it was hilarious and we spilled the popcorn or whatever. Do you talk about that stuff in school? It's like, hey man, I was playing Wii yesterday and I totally took out somebody's brother. That hasn't happened yet, but what do you talk about besides
Games.
math? Games? Okay, what
We
type of
just play
games?
Games and
So what type of games do you talk about? Like Wii games, right?
no, like games that we like play together.
Like in school activity
Like
games?
TV tag, or right TV tag maybe. I don't know. Maybe they don't play that game anymore.
What's that?
It's where you get to tag somebody and they have to become their own TV show, and it isn't until somebody changes the channel that they can. You know,
Wow, I never played that.
You've never played that either.
Well, you
I
gotta
was
remember,
from a really small town, so maybe we had to make our own games. You know, so
that sounds like a cool game.
What are some other kinds of tag?
Rounders?
that's a
Oh,
good one.
Rounders is a good one.
Rounders is always a good one.
Can you do that with a Wii? That's the question. So my question is, before we wrap up this fascinating interview, what's more important, talking and playing with friends at recess or playing on the computer?
Playing with friends at recess.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
more fun. You know why? Because they react to you, don't they? And you get like this, like, we did this crazy stuff, and then we did this other crazy stuff. When you play with a TV, it doesn't interact, does it?
Except on Wii.
Except on Wii. That's right. That's right. It plays. Hey, it looks
we
like
go.
we have a new guest coming. And this guy, I must admit, this dude has been trying to get here for almost 4 weeks. 4 weeks he's been struggling to come through the door, and he's coming through the door right now.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So big round of applause. Yeah, amazing. Beautiful, beautiful. We've just finished a gripping interview with a young lady here that's a master of Wii techniques. Anyways, thank you very much for coming. Is there anyone you want to shout out to, any of your friends, to embarrass them? Do you have a special friend? You must have a BFF. What's that, BFF? Best friends forever?
Friend forever.
BFF. Do you have a BFF?
I have a few.
Okay, right into the mic. Say hi to your BFFs. You can't remember your BFFs because there's a microphone makes you forget.
It does that sometimes.
Who's your best BFF that you play with? When you come out of school, who's your BFF?
Sandra.
Sandra is the ultimate
Sandra.
BFF. And if you were going to have a birthday party, who would you invite to your birthday party? Sandra, of course.
Sandra, Chloe, Celine, Sophia, Cara, and Madeline and Spitfire and Emma.
Spitfire,
That's a
very
lot of BFF.
Spitfire, very a lot of BFF action there. And is there a BFF, FFF, BFF, FF, which is the best friends forever, 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 best friends forever? Out of all those people, who's your ultimate? Hey, come on, man! Like I got kids, I know what the big one is. There, I guess it would be Sandra, right? The first one to go. So, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for this wonderful interview, and we'll be bringing her back in 12 years to see what her reaction is to the new platforms that are out there. So, thank you again. And do you want to get yourself some juice or something?
Maybe some juice.
Yeah? All right. So, next on our list, we've got YouTube Instant. Now, enables videos to play instantly without you clicking, right? So, basically, that's an option, a little bit of code that you put in there. So, if you have your YouTube, when people go to your YouTube video, then basically what happens is it starts playing instantly. I find that really annoying. What about you, Andrew?
I agree. I can see maybe some applications for it if it's a landing page for marketing purposes and you know you're going there for specific information and really that's all that's on the site is the video with a little bit of maybe more information and links. For that purpose, I think it would be good.
But really, it is kind of annoying.
Yeah. I mean, if people start doing this on just their regular blog sites and things like that, yeah, it would become really annoying because, you know.
Do you find videos annoying? Like you go to somebody's website and say, "Hi, I'm Joe Gibson, and you should use my product because I get a cool video." There's all this kind of like spammy email I'm getting. It's like, "Oh, you got to do video because that's the new paradigm," and blah blah blah. It's because everybody's doing it and they're doing it really badly.
Well, you know, these email videos, quite often they're just. I just don't even play them.
Yeah, why?
Especially, you know, I watched one of them from this one guy, and I just don't even hit the play button.
Yeah, I know it's not compelling. It's not. It's kind of like Flash. That was the problem with Flash. You were forced to watch the Flash, and they had the skip button, and that's all. Flash comes on. Where's the skip button? Where's the skip button? Ah, found it. Click, and now I can get to the content.
Yep.
So really, your YouTube or your video, I think the best place for it to be is on YouTube. You get to know people, you develop your relationships through social media and marketing, and then they want to know more information about you, then it's viable. It's like, well, then go to my YouTube channel. Check it out. Like, you know, game tips or whatever.
But it's always good to add that to your own website, and if you want people to go to see your other videos on your YouTube channel, that's good too. But I still think there's a good application for it for marketing if that's the primary reason why people are coming to the site to learn more about a particular product. If it launches by itself and that's the only reason that people are going there, yeah, it's fine. But you know, if people start putting them up everywhere, no, it would be very, very annoying.
Yeah, no kidding. So I've got this other thing I just heard about. It's called Reportive. Never heard of that one? It's so people that email you can have this built-in function, and it goes out and finds out all the information of somebody that's emailed you, so you can check out what the person is all about. So if you get an email from somebody, you get an email say, copy, paste, boom, who is this person? Now you can kind of do that the way I do it with, I think it's called Pipple, P-I-P-L-E, which is a deep person search. And if somebody emails me, I can kind of figure out what their first and last name is, and then I put the area of the world they're in, and it does a deep search for them. And wow, it really digs deep. And to give you an idea, when I first heard about this, I put my name in, Bob Garlic. And one of the links was there. It's like, the Bank of Canada wants to talk to Bob Garlic. It's what's going on? It's like, sure, I clicked and said, by the way, we owe you some money.
Oh, there you go.
And okay, so this is obviously a scam. So I went to the website, and it looked really official, and there's a phone number. So I phoned the phone number, because if you want to beat a scam, you phone, and phoned Ottawa and said, yeah, we're the Bank of Canada. I said, yeah, I'm on your website here and I'm a little worried this is a scam. So no, it's not. Anybody that has a bank account that has more than $5,000 in it, if it rolls over and it's dormant for more than 10 years, the bank is no longer responsible for that money, and it gets shipped to the Bank of Canada. And then the Bank of Canada has 50 years to find to wait with that money before they give it back to the government. And
So you got a little bit of a bonus then.
yeah, I got $5,875 I had in a bank. I had. and
No
it was
wonder you're going to a party
15
tonight.
15 years old. That was the last time I worked with a bank account, and I couldn't figure it out. I went to Google, and it showed me the address that bank account was related to, and said I never lived there. And I
See,
went.
Bob used to be really rich back in those days. He was
Yeah, when I
working
was
for the
young,
big
was an
PR firm
artist, and I had money to throw away.
$5,000. Where did that go? I
Just-
have no
had it
idea.
sucked away in a bank account. No, I'm really bad that way. But anyway, so I went to Google and I Googled the address and I zoomed down and I realized, holy cow, this is just before I left Toronto to go to Asia, and I'd socked $5,000 or $6,000 away in a bank account just in case I need to come back and do some stuff in Canada, I guess. So I looked at the satellite view, and it was this loft area that I was living with this girl for about 6 months before I went to Asia. So that's why I was registered there. Weird, but I totally forgot about that 15 years later. So it cost me $160 to get the darn money out because I had to get a lawyer involved and yada yada yada. But still, $160 for $5,800, not a bad deal. So that is what a deep Google search can do for you.
So what's the name of it again?
Pipple, Piple, Pipple, not people, but Pipple.
So we'll put that on the show notes so other
Yeah.
people can do.
Yeah, because I probably spelled it wrong.
I get a lot of information from people about people using Gist.com. And it keeps track of all your communications with people, and it integrates your Rolodex information with your social information. So you've got your address book with all, name, address, phone number, and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got the Facebook comments and the
Your Twitter
and
who's
everything.
important. Well,
Yeah.
what's nice?
Hey, you know what? You got to stop emailing me so much because you've gone past my girlfriend. So
Oops.
yeah,
Oops.
that's yeah.
Yeah, well, also with all the Twitter connections and stuff like that too.
She saw that. She said, "Hey, how come Bob's in front of me?"
Hey, man.
There you go.
Well, if you counted the phone calls I had to do every day just to get a hold of you, I'd be way, way further.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because you get a weekly report about who's important in your social media. So if you're doing a lot of Facebook stuff, if you're doing a lot of Twitter stuff, you can find out who's retweeting your things and who's connecting with you the most. And what's interesting is I only have 5 people come up. You can set levels. So unless you reach this level, you don't even register on my feedback. And I have 5 people. That's it. Out of like the thousands and thousands of people I'm disseminating this information out, really only 5 people are responding and retweeting and making comments on my Facebook account or making comments on my Twitter account. And really, I'm in the middle of the book.
Twitter build.
No, it's another book. Hang on. I lost it. Basically, the premise of this is that the 6, the 6 things of separation. What's that called? 6 degrees
Malcolm Gladwell.
Yeah, the 6 degrees of separation. That's what it's all about. It's like 20% of the people make 80% of your connections.
Yeah.
So out of all,
That's an awesome book. It's not Blink. It's The Tipping Point.
tipping point. Yeah.
And great book. And they did an experiment where they had to get a communication to somebody at the other end of the country.
lawyer. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was amazing. Yeah.
And so they sent out these letters, and you had to contact somebody that you knew that you thought would have a good chance of knowing the person that was the destination person. And they found that it was within 6 levels they would get the message to the person, but a significant percentage of the time it was the same person delivering the message.
2 people. It came
Yeah.
down to 2 people. It was hundreds of people were involved in this experiment, but it came down to 2 key people.
That
ended
delivered
up
the
giving
message
80
randomly from these other people.
80%. It was an 80-20
Because
theory.
those
It's
people,
weird.
those 2 people were what Malcolm Gladwell calls, and other people have adopted this term too, connectors.
Yeah.
And then there's the Mavens, and it's a really good book. I recommend reading it, and I believe you did a book review on that one.
Yeah, I did. You know what's interesting? Somebody
At businessbooktalk.com.
somebody introduced me. I was at a networking meeting the other day and said, "Oh, this is Bob. He's a connector." I said,
Yeah,
"What?"
I called you that before too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like a connector into. Well, basically, the way the connector works, like if I'm doing a networking event, and actually, here's an example. We're doing the podcast tonight, and then I'm going to run out, and I've got a second party I'm going to go to, and people want me to go to parties and social networking events because when I go there, I'm just not a wallflower. I'm a guy that's out there and say, hey, what's your name? What you doing? Oh, cool. And then as the party progresses and more people come in, I get to know more people, and I say, oh, I know a guy at this party you've got to meet. And then I'll disappear. And I go, what's going on? And then suddenly, a couple minutes later, I'll introduce these people. And I say, oh, look, you guys, you got to know each other.
Bob is a networking king.
Well, it's better to be a networking queen.
A physical networking king, and he's working on the social networking side too. That's why we're doing the bunker.
I just love putting people together.
Yep.
It's great.
It's true.
Yeah, exactly. It's now Mira, she's she's a natural networker. She doesn't actually classify herself as a network. She doesn't go out and do networking events like semi-professional like I do. But she is connected with the most amazing people. She's really into art, and she knows everybody in the art scene. So if you're going to do, let's say, a podcast on the art scene, Mira would be a killer person to know. So to give you an idea how interconnections work, so Tommy, I said, oh, you should do a podcast with Mira. So she went, and she ended up spending 2 hours doing this amazing 2-hour podcast with Tsunomi about what's going on in the art scene, blah, 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 blah. I have another podcast with Kimberly Plumley about PR. She's a special PR specialist. We've done 2 podcasts when I realized that she actually does the PR for the East Side Cultural Crawl. I said, oh, that's great. Do you know Mira? Oh, Mira, I know Mira. She's fantastic. Yeah, that Mira. Now, yeah, so here is our area of our audience. Somebody said, that Mira. You know Mira.
See, everybody knows Mira.
Now Mira does Miras in the middle of the summer in her garage, and she has art events in her garage. In fact, she casted your arm, and you're a part of the show.
Oh, that's right.
Dun, dun, dun. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah, Mira just did an awesome piece. The little girl I just interviewed, I met her before. We didn't do the connection. We chatted about on Friday. That's when we met originally. And that's how social media works. You go to an event, you meet somebody casually over a beer or an art event where somebody casted your arm, and you blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's very interesting. And boom, the event's over and it disappears. And you just keep pushing out, and you go to another event, and eventually it all comes together. And that is what 6 something of separation is all about.
6 degrees of
Thank
separation.
you. The 6 degrees.
Yeah. And then the other 2 categories are mavens and salesmen or sales.
Yeah, salesman. Yeah, salespeople.
So I would say Croft Woodruff, the co-host of my other podcast, Health Department News.
He's a maven.
He's a maven for sure.
Now, maven is a person that has spent their whole life gathering huge amounts of information and data and research.
Connectors collect people, and mavens collect information.
Yeah, we have a maven in the room.
And
as he giggles.
And then the other group is salesmen, salespeople, and people with enormous powers of persuasion.
Yeah, and then Andrew is a salesperson.
Well,
he's got enormous powers of persuasion.
You can have degrees of different levels of each character.
The tastemaker.
Yeah, isn't there also one called like the tastemakers? You know, the guys that are actually the trenders and the influencers, sort of.
Yeah, they're below those 3. Sorry.
So that might be I don't know if that's part of Malcolm.
I think it's
it's an expansion of the concept. Yeah, it's an expansion of the concept. Yeah. Basically, what you're talking about, there's a new paradigm thing where basically they're called curators of knowledge, and those are people that have spent time getting to know people that are mavens, people that are salespeople, and people that are connectors, and know those people and kind of organize or curate experiences or curate events. And there's a big guy in town. He just wrote a book. He's written his what was it? He did Sociable, and he's done
Shane Gibson.
Yeah, Shane Gibson. And what was the marketing one?
Guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla social marketing.
Now, to give an idea of the power of that, he's a guy that connects people. Now, he is really a salesman. It's a classic salesman guy, in the best sense of the word. But he's also a connector. He's a bit of a maven, so he's kind of like, but he classifies himself as a curator, and he really believes that the new paradigm shift that's going to be happening in the next 6 months to 5 years are people that you go to because there's too much information. That we were talking about WikiLeaks earlier, maybe not the show, but pre-show. And this private in the U.S. Army said, I got all this 300,000? 250,000 documents, gave to somebody who's actually officially put it on the internet as a accessible data. And they've got all sorts of people that are really ticked off about that. And they had it's called a denial of service, like the U.S., maybe not the U.S. Army, but people in the United States basically trying to shut the guy down. And the website, the actual place, if you want to try and check it out, is called cablegate.wikileaks.org. And what's interesting about it is they're trying to shut down WikiLeaks and saying, no, it's on the internet, it's too late.
Amazon just dropped their server.
Yeah, that's a big news.
That was the leading edge news in Mashables.
And okay, so something like Amazon dropping the server. The reason Amazon's doing it is they're trying to be nice, and it's some people are saying it's treasonous. The guy that the private that got busted for this, he actually got turned in by a hacker. So it's basically it's serious stuff. This within the really hardcore computer society that the shadow society, or actually not society is a bad term. The community, the shadow community, which are people that are big coders and people that are into the internet and know a lot of stuff that us regular Joes that work at McDonald's and flipping burgers and stuff and going to managing banks, and that segment of the society aren't really connected with. There is a huge amount of people that are involved in what's going on like a bit sense. And a hacker, his name is Adrian Lamo, which is kind of a weird name. Lamo, man.
I don't want to laugh at that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Lamo, man. Like, wow. Yeah. Really good excuse to get a name changed. But anyways, this hacker called Adrian Lamo discovered that this guy was bragging and turned him in. So if a hacker turned in this dude so that there's a big, left, right, or yes, no, or black and white discussion going on in the blogosphere and in the hackosphere about dissemination of supposedly classified information, is that a good or a bad thing? Now some of this information is like, there's a bunch of guys basically,
calling each other names and stuff,
whining
like
and bitching at each other about like, you're so and so and so and so, and these are diplomats, and it's embarrassing. So it's an embarrassing. But there's also stuff like how many potatoes did we order? Yeah. So there's
That's one of the issues that came out with regards to the secrecy level of those documents, in the sense that apparently 3 million people have the level of clearance required to access all of those documents.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. It's not like high security crap. So the whole thing is like when I was listening to a report on it or a discussion on it, they say nobody has died. This isn't intelligence that really is that relevant to the security of the United States or the security of the world. So like, what's the big deal?
Oh, they can make a big deal about it so that they can.
It's a precedent.
They can tighten up security and take away more rights and freedom. Okay,
so that's an awesome segue. No. WikiLeaks is not going away because now the whole thing. A lot of people say, "Why is WikiLeaks all about the U.S.?" Is no, that it just happens that they have this huge treasure trove of hundreds of thousands of documents that are about the U.S. government. Now, if somebody from China wants to throw them some documents, I'm sure they'd like to distribute it as well, and then they can get all upset about that.
Looking forward to next month's release of the Big Bank embarrassment.
Oh man, there's going to be some awesome documents going out.
Yep.
So
they didn't say which bank, but it's rumored that it's Bank of America.
Oh, B of A.
Yeah, so
B of A is kind of like a
signers, all of that stuff, the frauds that have been going on behind the scenes. Seems like a lot of that's going to be revealed.
Oh, okay. So this in that very quiet voice in the background that is afraid of mics. That's our Maven. But that's okay. But Mavens, they're kind of like background people and like to talk in a whispery voice. voice. It makes it sound much more conspiritual.
One of the comments that I read in an article was that as long as there are mice, they will never see the end of WikiLeaks. Mice referring to money, ideology. I can't remember what the C&E stand for, but essentially these are 4 human qualities that prompt people to review.
Curiosity? Is that the C word?
No. Education?
Greed.
I think that might be it. And I don't remember what the E is. I'd have to look for
Okay.
the article. But essentially, these were human characteristics that prompted people to reveal information. And in any organization, any group of people, there's always going to be things going on, and there's always going to be some people who are going to question the validity of the actions being taken, and at some point, someone's going to reveal something to someone else.
Yeah, it's moral fortitude. Basically, it's like, hey, look, I've put up with this enough. I've been abused enough, or whatever. You know what? I'm going to take my my special situation, and I'm going to make this information available to people. These people don't want it to basically to counteract what I feel is going on, which and it's a balancing thing.
Whereas Assange, he's like totally motivated.
It's
Hey, the same thing went on with King Arthur's Court. You know, where they had that huge thing that happened with the Grail. They didn't want to know everybody. The Holy Grail, it came out, and they were saying, you know, that was a leak. That was the original WikiLeaks. You know, there's all these knights running around Europe looking for the Holy Grail, and suddenly spill the beans, and then, oh man, they ended up making a movie out of it, and it became a thing, a satire, and it's like, okay, I'm going to put that down as a 4 for a tangent, because it was kind of humor tangent. Anyway,
All right.
I'm just going to jump in here.
We're running low on time.
Okay,
If it's
one
possible
more
on
thing. I'm going to
podcast.
just jump in here, because it's really, really... Has anybody heard of Indiegogo and self-funding? This
Indiegogo
is
and
a
self-funding.
totally cool concept. Now, basically, this is social media at its best. Basically, what happens is, let's say you want to do a documentary. Say, hey, I need $50,000. Or I want to do this, I need $6,000. Or, you know, I'm a little schoolgirl and I needed $180 to do something. So basically what you do is you go onto this website and say, here's my proposal. And then people can pledge money. And it's not like 1 or 2 people. It's millions of people that can pledge.
This is
you know,
the one
$50
with the-
or $1.50 or whatever.
This is the one with the watch, right?
Yeah, the watch guy. He
That
had
is awesome.
200% response. He got over.
Oh no, he got
Okay,
way more than he
yes.
was expecting. He was wanting to get $15,000.
He wanted $15,000. He ended up with like $200,000 to play with.
That was $200,000, and there was still 22 days left in the.
I know, it's great.
Damn.
And I tell you, I want this watch. It's a really cool concept. Basically, what it does is it takes the Apple Nano and has a device that you can attach the Nano to, becomes a watch. And
It
then
just
he's
clips
got
in like a watch, and
But then he's got
it's actually-
interface software that interfaces with the Nano that totally takes or borgs out the Nano. You can do all this cool stopwatch stuff, and it becomes a watch.
No, but the Nano is a
Plus-
watch. It has a watch function.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's so
It's
cool.
just basically a really
We
high
will put a
quality,
link. We will put a link. It's a high quality strap.
strap. There's 2 different ones. There's one that's cheaper and one that's a lot more expensive and bigger. But man,
really, the
they're
big story
nice.
here is
that's got to be the best watch ever.
Oh, it's I want one big time for Christmas. I don't want the watch. Somebody buy me the strap, and I will go buy the product. I mean, Apple should be all over this. So, anyways, this is what's neat about it. You go to the website, and there's hundreds of people that have bid. And really, where it's affecting it is people that want to do documentaries that cannot get funding. And what happens is, if you bid $1, which is the minimum bid, you become a producer. And so on the credits, producer.
Yeah.
280,000 people produced this sucker.
Shouldn't it be called a financier, not a producer, though?
Well, whatever. I mean, the whole thing is like producer sounds sexy, so you like you want to be
Executive producer, maybe that would be for
executive.
financing,
Executive producer is if somebody comes up with $100,000 and manages and does the books, and nobody ever makes any money, and people actually a profit. But for people that are just, what's interesting about it through the internet and this social tool, you're able to create these wonderful things like Indiegogo and self-funding, where you can actually get funding where you couldn't. You no longer have to go to the Canadian government and fill out 60 forms, and you go
Or go
to this,
to some angel investor group.
an angel investor and
Yeah.
throw yourself on a sword and saying, hey, you
Yeah.
know, you can take over the intellectual property of my project just so I can have $50,000, right? And this
Yeah.
has been going on for a long time, folks. So
it's pretty cool.
it's empowering. It's very, very cool. And with that, we're going to close the show.
So what are we going to talk about next week?
Oh, I don't know. I got a whole list of stuff here, and I got another beer coming.
All right, sweet. So you can. We got a call actually. We'll play that in the next episode.
Oh, awesome! You recorded. I forgot to tell you about that.
And that's coming up next week.
It's our Australian angel.
Craig Griffiths called, and we'll play that. And we will see you next week. Call us at 1-888-636-1474 and leave us a message, and we'll get you into the show. And we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thanks for listening.